Hi again, this is Steve, Dichroic Glassman. Well, we're to the point on this panel, putting this triangle panel, putting a lead around it, this twisted drill bit looking lead that I made. Well, we don't have enough, as expected. So, definitely when you're making a window, and this is 26 inch by 26 inch by 26 inch, so you got about 90 inches, and lead only comes in 72. By the way, when you twist it down, well, I'm sure it could come longer because it comes on spools, but when you get it in a box looking like this, it's in a long box, it's 6-foot strips. So I'm sure you can possibly get it on a roll that could be endless, of course, but not this heavy-duty stuff. It only comes in 6-foot strips. So you know you don't have enough already off top. So make sure you get enough when you're buying your lead at your local stained glass distributor, or if you're buying by the box like I do, then it ain't gonna matter. So what you want to do is take that drill bit and try to line up that same profile. You can see right here, since I don't have anybody to hold the camera, that that's not lining up totally perfectly. It's going to look really good. So we're going to get a good solid joint by coming off of strength right here, because my last solder ball is right here. We're going to have a good solid joint. Then I'm going to go right here, right about here, to solder to the window, to the paint, to this lead. So that's how we're going to splice this. And then, as you've already seen me do in the window, I'm going to roll it all the way around. Once this end overlaps per se, so that when the lead, I'll get another piece. So when the lead extends beyond the window, because the new piece that I'm splicing into is 6 foot, you'll want to just cut it even and then press it back and solder it. And then you've accomplished, and then you save your stuff. I save my zinc. These are just for examples. I have zinc elsewhere. And save the lead. It's always a good idea to give you extra measurements or show the customer what you're doing or plan to do and what have you, or in these videos. They come in very handy. So all I got to do is accomplish about 13, 14 inches out of this now long strip. Keep in mind when you twist this up, it also makes the strip, it seems like, a little shorter. I think maybe I'll measure it so I know that for a fact, but there ain't no doubt in my mind that it's going to shrink it. It might not be much, might only be a ½ an inch to an inch, but just the same. Just all these kinds of things you want to keep in mind, especially if you're down to the wire. This is the top of the panel, and I have specific places where I solder my hangers to, which will be on the next video. And beside that, there's kind of a clever thing that I did just to think about. This is the top of the window going down. When I hang my hangers, I like them to be in the same exact location on both sides. Whether it's symmetrical or not, I still like it to end up the same. So I'll take my ruler, and chances are from here to here, in other words going like this. Yep, right there. I'll do it with a ruler to make sure. But I put this break line in there so that that joint would be exactly the same as this. And you're going to see why the significance of that in the next video, where I place my hangers. I can't tell you, well, it'd be over 200 windows that I've repaired because they fell apart. People didn't realize where and how to make their hangers so that you can hang. Hangers, what's hangers? Just a little wire assembly that I'll put onto this panel so that this window could hang, because it doesn't get framed. This decorative solder is the framing, so to speak. This window is so strong in its design without a wooden oak frame. The wooden oak frame would just hurt the element. This just adds to the ambiance of it, especially when you got a beautiful oval window with a hummingbird or a rose or a flower. This is really flowery, floral, very feminine, this twisted lead. Although the size of this, it's very masculine because it's really big lead. So you kind of satisfy both ends at the same time of not only having that strength, the big bold look, but also it's got a very nice effect to it, very soothing effect. It's all about creating your glass so that others like your glass because there's so much glass out there, what makes your glass stand out? For me, it's the dichroic glass elements. I'm the only one in the world right now doing a full bevel, full view dichroic bevel. In other words, all the way back to back, side to sides, all dichro, versus these bevels you see out there where only just a little flat table is done. Just a little area, 1/2 inch. This one would be 1/2 inch by 1 inch. But yet you're paying the comparable of having the whole bevel done. Pretty expensive when you, if you actually knew what you're paying for those little bevels, it'd amaze you. Anyway, I got sidetracked. You know me. I talk a lot on all my videos. So excited to share what I know, or what I believe, or what I think. And hopefully some of them rub off and they might be of value to you. Otherwise, just another one of those guys that drive you nuts, right? Well, hopefully they are of benefit, and I want that everybody would succeed. I hope that everybody that watches my videos raises the bar on some level within themselves, creating their own abilities and aptitudes like mine. I have never had a lesson, and that has never stopped me. I'm almost 100% colorblind, and in this window, since it's all clear textures, it's not a problem. It's a strength in this case because I've taken what would normally be a handicap to some and turned it into one of my strengths by not believing what they told me I had to believe. So I've always set my course in stained glass and done what I wanted to do because I've never had a lesson. There's never been any restraints. So anyway, remember this strip here, by the way, don't use something so thin that your lead jumps over the top. I kind of thought about that after I laid this down. I'd like to see something just a little bit thicker than this, at least 1/4 inch, maybe even taller. Create a nice wall so that when you pull this window towards it, see how that worked? When you pull this window towards the strip, you don't want it to jump over the top. You literally want this strip to help you, be your helping hand. So as you pull the window toward it, relying on the weight of the window to hold it tight up against the stick because it's heavy enough and it's going to create enough drag and friction on your top so that it doesn't just fling away, you should be all right. So make sure your strip, if you cut it yourself, I'd cut them about 3/8 of an inch. If you're going to go to the lumber yard and look for some of these nice strips, because I use these strips, I use hundreds of them. They're part of the success in my design concepts. But anyway, you work out what you feel works best for you. Thanks for watching my videos. Bye-bye.